Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm filming my annual top 3 in every makeup category, and this year it was important to me that I added B-roll footage so you'll be able to see each product in action. And typically these are longer videos, so I'm going to get right into it. But before we do, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. So getting into primers, these 3 are all that I need. These are the ones I reach for the most often, and honestly all the other ones I could go without. These ones are phenomenal. I have one for longevity, one for blurring qualities, and one for illuminating and blurring qualities too. So the first one I wanted to talk about is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I prefer the one with 4% niacinamide. It's better for my skin type. It's not as hydrating as the blue one, and I love niacinamide and so does my skin. It just helps to brighten it up, and I don't need that extra hydration from my primer because I always go in with a very hydrating skincare base. But this one is the best for a long wearing makeup. I apply this one most days. Before this primer came into my life, I never really went in with a primer daily, only for very specific days and for specific needs, but I have used this in my daily routine for months now. It's always my first step, and it just ensures that my makeup stays glued to my face all day. The second primer I have here is the Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. So this one's amazing. It feels really nice and hydrating at first. It feels like a thick serum, and it has that gorgeous luminosity to it. It has like a subtle glow boosting effect, but then if you just leave it to set, it blurs out your skin so much and provides this nice velvety texture for your makeup to stick onto. So it does prolong the wear of my makeup. It adds some glow and some blurring qualities. It's just everything I want and more. And the last primer here is the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer, which I think has made it into each one of these videos. So it's been a favorite of mine for 3 years. It's such an amazing primer. Although I haven't been reaching for it as much as these two, and I think that's because these ones are newer. This one just does the impossible for real. It smooths out your skin. I'm wearing it underneath of my foundation today, and I feel like my skin looks so much smoother and just everything I want it to look like. It fills in my minor pores, my minor fine lines, and provides a really great base for my makeup. It feels like a silicone primer, but it's actually a silicone-free primer, and I like that because it dries down, whereas silicone primers usually still have that slip to it, which I find makes makeup slip around during the day, whereas this one dries down if you leave it to set. And I also like how this one kind of encapsulates your skincare. I always find that it creates a really interesting barrier, but it never makes your makeup look cakey. It just makes everything look like one. It does a really unique job for a primer. Truly nothing compares to this one. I now wanted to highlight my favorite glow boosters. So the first one being the Iconic London Radiance Booster. This one has such a nice lightweight gel consistency and this super fine pearlescence. I feel like this one is a bit more on the natural side compared to the following two. So if you want more of that natural kind of skincare type of glow, you would really like this one. It amplifies the light beautifully. I'll actually swatch all 3 on the back of my hand here. I use the shade Champagne Glow, and it has such a nice thin consistency, so it's not going to look like a layer of something on your face. And of course, glow boosters have so many different uses. You can use them as a highlighter, you can use them underneath of your foundation to amp up the glow, you can mix it in with your foundation or your blush or anything you want to add glow to. They're really fun to experiment with and just mix into anything. That's Champagne Glow there. You can see how beautiful and consistent the sheen is. And it offers like a really nice dewy look without the dewy feel. Like it does not feel tacky or sticky once it's on your skin. The next one I would say has a medium intensity, and that is the Auric Glow Lust. I like to use the shade Selenite or Pyrite, just depending on my skin tone. Selenite I like for the winter time or if I want more of a dramatic highlight, and Pyrite is more like a bronzy tone. I would say that this one is like a step further than this one. It's more glowy, has a thicker consistency, serum-like in comparison to the Iconic London. The Iconic London one feels more like a gel. Here is Selenite here. So you can see it's a little bit thinner in consistency. You can see it does have like a little bit of a different finish, but it still has that gorgeous, consistent pearl. So beautiful. And the third one is, of course, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This one's amazing. It replaced the void I had for the Charlotte Tilbury one, because the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter always broke me out, which this one doesn't, but it has all of these same qualities. This one definitely feels more like a makeup product and less like a serum or gel type product. It has that kind of feel, but still that consistent pearl, that gorgeous glow, and they have so many different shades available too. All three are amazing options. These are just it for me. And I just swatched the shade number 2 here, which has kind of a more yellowy golden undertone. So as you can see here, they just have subtle different undertones. I wouldn't say that you need all three. Definitely you'd be good with just one. It just depends on what kind of feel and texture that you want. Gel, serum, or kind of like a classic makeup-y highlighter feel. Now moving on to foundations and skin tints, I decided to combine the two categories, just like my favorite complexion products. So the first one is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. Of course, this was my tournament winner when it came to foundations and skin tints. It's just my everything. It suits anything. I can adjust the coverage level so easily, as well as the finish if I want to make it more matte or glowy. It's very adjustable and reliable. It's just everything I need and more in a foundation. This one I see quite similar to the Makeup Forever one, just a more glowy version. This is the foundation I'm wearing today, and I think it just looks so stunning and flawless. I love this one because it's so nice and dewy looking, but it doesn't feel like that at all, especially on my oilier complexion. It doesn't feel like a mask, nor is there any heaviness or any like tickly feels once it's on my skin, which is so important to me. And this one is so beautifully long wearing. I just think it makes my skin look its best, and it just stays its best all day. Another fantastic, super reliable foundation. And this is my third one. This is the iconic London Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint. This is my day-to-day go-to because it just offers my skin exactly what I want. It blurs out my skin, adds the perfect amount of coverage, and it just collaborates well with anything I put over top. I also can adjust its coverage level, which is really unique, especially for a skin tint. I can use the littlest amount, but it'll still make my skin look amazing, or I can build it up to a medium coverage, which sold this product to me immediately. Now let's move into concealers, and I have 3 at different coverage levels. So let's start off with the lowest, which is the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener. I completely fell in love with this product this year. I use it 90% of the time, whether I'm wearing it alone or underneath another concealer. I just adore it. It brightens my under eyes the perfect amount. It provides my under eyes with a little bit of coverage, but overall it just smooths them in the most natural looking way. I also really appreciate its applicator. It feels really nice and it's cooling, but it also dispenses the perfect amount for this type of product because you don't want to go in with too much, especially if you're not going to be layering any other concealers or if you're not going to be wearing any foundation. It dispenses the perfect amount so you don't see a line of demarcation. It just naturally and seamlessly blends in with everything else. And I also have to say it gets extra points for having a flat bottom so it doesn't roll around on my desk. I love that. I really despise when products roll all over my desk. Very niche, but I appreciate it. I know this next one is marketed as a full coverage concealer, but I would put it at a medium. This is the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Concealer. This is my favorite daily one. I feel like it suits most foundations no matter what the coverage level is. It's so nice and seamless to work with. It has a very thin consistency, but a deceiving amount of coverage. I feel like it has a lot more for its super thin feeling texture. If you really liked the Kosas concealer, I think you would love this one even more because it has all those qualities. Like, it feels really nice and thin and caring for your under eyes, but it lasts a lot longer and it doesn't settle into fine lines as much as the Kosas one. It's one of the most reliable concealers I've tried. It truly just collaborates well with any powder I use on top of it or whatever is underneath of it as well. And I have noticed that it has kind of some self-setting qualities, so I don't have to go in with that much powder afterwards too. And I love that because I know it's not going to settle into my deeper lines under there as much. It's just everything I want and more in a concealer. And the third one is the Lancome All Over Concealer, which is also a collection staple of mine. This has been one of my top favorite concealers for years now. It has the most beautiful full coverage look. It's very blurring and softening. This one also collaborates well with anything underneath or on top. It just works. But my favorite thing about this one is its blurring qualities. I haven't found that many concealers that offer me that, and that's what I do prefer under my eyes. I feel like it just looks really nice and softening. And again, it has this really nice lightweight kind of more gel texture, and it has so much coverage. It blends out seamlessly with a brush or a sponge or your fingertip. Just, you can't go wrong with this one. It's so nice and easy to work with. You'll be able to rely on this one for anything. Now let's get into powders. My number one favorite is the Huda Beauty setting powders. My favorites are Pound Cake and Cherry Blossom. I hope Cherry Blossom becomes a little more readily available because it's such a nice pink powder. This one is incredible for oily skin types. That is why it's become such a favorite of mine. I only need to set my face once when it comes to this powder. I don't have to touch it up during the day at all, and it adds such a blurring quality, and I love what it does to my under eyes. It's just everything and more. I can't say enough good things about this powder. I just love how long wearing it is. It also layers beautifully on top of anything I have going on. I just know my makeup is going to look flawless whenever I use this. Same with the e.l.f. Prime and Stay powder. This one is such a favorite. I love talking about this powder because it's kind of deceiving. It blurs out your skin so much, and it really helps to set your makeup. It almost dries it out in a good way. It doesn't feel too tightening or dehydrating at all. It just really gets the job done in such a little quick and easy compact. I do wish it had a little bit more sturdy packaging because I've gone through a few of them. I either break them or the packaging just kind of falls off, and that makes it really hard to travel with it. So this one just stays here in my office where I can baby it and it's not going to get jostled around. So that's my only issue with that one. I wish its packaging was a little bit more jostleable. And my last favorite powder is still the Kosas Cloud Set. I feel like there's nothing like this one because it has those blurring qualities that the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder has, but it also provides you with this gorgeous glow. Like, it's not going to cut all of the shine of your makeup. It's going to make it look like cloud skin, which is so, so nice. So you're still going to have that dimension coming through, but you're going to have this beautiful set skin. It just offers a very unique finish that I just haven't found anywhere else. It's still such a big favorite of mine. I use the shade Feathery the most often in this guy. I feel like this next category is pretty predictable, but hey, at least I'm consistent. That's what I always say. So now for bronzers and contours. These are just all so good. I'm excited to talk about them too. So the first one is the Matchsticks from Fenty Beauty. These are amazing at giving great definition, and these are super long wearing as well because they have a powdery finish. They just offer something so unique that I haven't found anywhere else, especially with the contour ones. My favorite shade is Amber and Amber Suede. They just sculpt the face perfectly, but it still looks very seamless because it is a cream. They're just, oh, so good. The next one is also very unique. It's the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. Are you getting tired of me talking about this? I feel like I talk about this in every video, but it truly offers something so unique that I haven't been able to find anywhere else because it has this gorgeous balmy texture and it's so sheer, but it does the most for your skin. It flatters any type of look, from the most no makeup looks to the most full glam looks. It's just going to shapeshift and suit the makeup look perfectly. It looks so natural. It's also so easy to work with because you're not going to have any harsh lines whatsoever. The colors are gorgeous. They're not too warm nor too cool. They're just in the middle there. This product is pure perfection. And this one I would say is the powder version of the Makeup by Mario, and that is the Glowish by Huda Beauty Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder. I use the shade 02 Medium. This offers so many similar qualities, but in a powder. And it also has the addition of this beautiful finely milled pearl that just enhances the light perfectly and almost makes it look like a cream. This is the bronzer I'm wearing on my skin today. I did amp it up though with a little bit of the Fenty Matchsticks in Amber, just in the hollows here, but everywhere else I'm wearing this. So it looks like a cream, it seeps right into your skin, and you get that super seamless look as well. This is such a user-friendly bronzer as well. I feel like wherever you are in your makeup journey, you're going to be able to pull this one off. And I feel like this would suit anyone's skin. Whether you're young or more mature, this is going to look amazing. Now moving into highlights, I have a powder, a cream, and a liquid. So starting off with the powder, I am so picky when it comes to highlighters, especially powders, but this one is so unique. I love, 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 love this one. This is the Rare Beauty highlighter. I like the shades Mesmerize and Exhilarate. I mostly use Exhilarate, which is the golden champagne color. Mesmerize is the pink one, but here is Exhilarate. Sorry, I got confused. It's so nice. It's a very modernized strobing highlighter. I'm going to apply some right now because I'm tempted. I'm wearing a different one today. Right now I'm wearing the Melt one right here, which I'm going to talk about in a second, but I feel like I need to amp it up with this one so you can really see. Although you're going to see it in the B-roll, I just suddenly have an urge to put it on. So it just, it's amazing. I'll let it speak for itself here for a second. Look how see-through it is. And then when the light hits it, it's so dramatic. I love, that's my favorite thing about this one, is how secretive it is. And then it's insane. What am I even trying to say? I'm too excited. It's easy to go a little too much with this product. You only need the littlest amount, and you can see here it stretches, but I love its effect, and it polishes so nicely, sinks right into your base too, so it doesn't look like a strip of chalk across your cheekbone. It honestly gets better the more you blend it in too. Yeah. That's what I wanted today. It's so interesting because this is typically not the kind of highlighter I like, because it is a bit on the shimmery side, but it's not glittery. The sheen is just so consistent. I think that's why this one works for me. It's not texture enhancing too, but it's the perfect kind of strobing highlight when you really want to glow. It has a really nice lightweight baked texture, so it just seamlessly works always. The next highlighter is the Trini London The Right Light highlighter in the shade Candlelight. So I've swatched it next to Rare Beauty, and you can see it's a lot more on the natural side. Here's Rare Beauty and there's Candlelight from Trini London. So I like this one when I want more of a glow boosted look, but I want it to look really natural too. It sinks right into whatever look I'm wearing, and it feels really nice and lightweight, and it doesn't remain feeling sticky or creamy, so my hair doesn't get stuck into it. It almost even dries down to a powdery feel, which is awesome for longevity, and it's so nice and hydrating feeling, so it's not going to enhance any texture or any bumps you have going on. It's just going to look very natural and seamless. And the last highlighter is the liquid one, and by no surprise, it's the Melt Cosmetics Stargazer Sex Foil Digital Liquid Highlight. I feel like this one is going to be a forever favorite of mine because of its finish and its feel. I can even put this over top of set skin and it still works because it's kind of a hybrid texture. It feels really nice and liquidy and serumy, but once you apply it to your skin, it dries down like a powder. So it's right there. And I would say it's kind of a mix of the Rare Beauty one and the Trini London one, so it's kind of like at a medium intensity. But my forever favorite quality of this is how it sinks into my skin. It almost sinks in like a skincare product, but it enhances the light so gorgeously. And you only need the smallest amount of this, which is why you can see here not much has been used, but it's just one of the best liquid highlights. Now moving on to blush, I actually just have 3. I think in past years, where's my voice going? I think in past years I've cheated and I've included more, but I really challenged myself and I kept it at 3. So my first favorite is the Rare Beauty Liquid Blushes. The shades are just so stunning. They're so ultra pigmented, so they'll work for any skin tone and skin type because they have this drying quality too. And because they're so pigmented, they're just going to pretty much act like cheek stains. They're just gonna be there all day. My favorite shades are Encourage, Believe, and my newest favorite is Happy. I have a mini version of it right now, but it's such a cute pink. I'm actually wearing it right now, but it is mixed in with one of the next ones I'm going to be talking about. But these are hands down the best liquid blushes on the market. I have a cream formulation here. This is, of course, none other but the Rose Ink blushes. I have so many favorite shades, but my ultimate favorite is Foxglove, of course. But my other favorites are Heliotrope, Daylily, and Dahlia. Gorgeous. These are amazing cream blushes. They offer something truly unique because they have this gorgeous whipped texture. So it has this nice airy feel when you're applying it, and it has great pigmentation, and they're very dewy looking, but not dewy feeling because they have a really subtle little pearl in here, which really helps to reflect the light. So it looks more sheeny than it actually feels, and they're very lightweight too because of that airy feel. They're so unique, and I think they'll always have such a special place in my heart and in my collection. And my third favorite is, of course, the Haus Labs blushes. These are kind of newer to my collection, but have they ever made an impact on my life and on my cheeks? My 2 favorite shades are Hibiscus Haze and Dragon Fruit Days. I'm wearing a little bit of Dragon Fruit Days on my cheeks today. This is such an intense, cool pink. It's so vibrant and it just adds so much life to my cheeks. This formula is so nice too because it has a little bit of a moisturized feel. It feels hydrated for a powder, so it applies kind of like a cream would too. And these are also perfectly pigmented, meaning that you're not going to apply too much right off the bat. You're just going to add a sheer layer that you can easily build up, which is so much better when it comes to blush. You don't want to be stuck there with clown cheeks, you know? These are just amazing. I love them so much. So that concludes the complexion section. Now let's move on to eyes, and starting with eyeshadow palettes, I have to mention this one again. It's made such an impact on my eyeshadow life this year. I just adore this palette so much. I think it's becoming my top favorite Huda Beauty palette. This is the Warm Matte Obsessions. I also really like the cool one, don't get me wrong, but I often reach for this one. I just adore everything and more out of this. I feel like you can create so much with these 9 shadows, and I love the different textures. There's 2 cream to powders, which really allow you to amp up your looks. You can use them as eyeliners or as bases to really increase the opacity of your eye looks, or you can get a really nice sheer wash of color with them too. I just reach for this all the time, and I love how it comes in this little mini palette, so it's easy to travel with. It's just easy to gravitate towards every day, because sometimes I find when you have the big palettes, they overwhelm me and I feel like it's really hard to decide what to do that day. This really condenses that decision making. It just makes it a lot easier for every day. Speaking of every day, this is my everyday go-to, of course. This is the Super Nudes Easy Eye palette from Charlotte Tilbury. I just love the colors in here, but what I love even more is the consistency of these shadows, because they're kind of like this rich looking matte. They have this really pretty luminosity to them, so it offers your eyelids this really nice creamy glow without it actually being creamy. So I'll show you what I mean here. And the black is really cool in here. If you put it all over your lid, it kind of looks latexy in a way. It just has this really unique sheen. So it just makes your eyes look so rich and luxurious. And the pearl inside these shadows make it so easy to blend out. You can just quickly apply it and it will be perfectly blended. This is such an amazing palette, and I think I'm going to pick up a few more because I believe this is a limited edition one and I cannot not have this in my collection. It's so good. And my last favorite palette has got to be the Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palette, the first one, so the warm brown one. And again, I just love the 2 creams in here. It just amps up the versatility of the product, and I love the variety of shimmers you get in this palette. They're either a gorgeous topper or this really nice rich sheen, especially that chocolate brown one. When that's layered on top of the cream bases in here, it looks like brownie dreams or something. I don't even know. It's bronzy brownie dreams. I love it. All the shadows in this palette are so easy to work with. You can't go wrong. Now let's get into my favorite single shadows. So starting with the single shadows of the year for me, which are the Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadows. I used to love these in the past too, so I think there's a little bit of nostalgia connected to these too, but these are the prettiest glitter top coats on the market, hands down. My 2 favorite shades are Cosmic and Space Cowboy. Those are the only 2 I have, but I am planning on purchasing the other shades available too. But these are so nice just to top over anything. Might as well do it right now. I'm going to take a little bit of Cosmic. I'm just going to scatter it about, and it just adds this gorgeous Edward Cullen-esque vibe to your lids. I love how the base is so see-through, and it just provides this gorgeous sheen. It sparkles in a way that Pat McGrath shimmery shadows do. They're so intense. I don't know. They're just so special. And they're honestly addicting. Like once you get these, any matte eye look that you do, you're gonna be tempted to just have a sheer wash of this over top. It just amps up the look so much. And in direct sunlight, forget about it. So gorgeous. And in like moody restaurant lighting too. Amazing. These are everything to me. And these next ones are kind of like more intense versions of those. These are the Bodyography glitter pigments. These are incredible. I need to expand my collection on these ASAP because the quality of these are amazing. I've been so utterly impressed with them because they're so glittery and so shimmery, but the base is so well formulated that when you're applying it and blending it out, the shimmer and glitter doesn't get dispersed all over your face at all. It stays on your lids, which is amazing, and all day too. I never get any fallout with these whatsoever. I have 2 shades right now. The lighter one is Celestial and the other one is Mood. And this shade is so special because it kind of has like a cool pink shift to it too. There's a bunch of different glitters in here. They must have put like a shifting glitter in there too, because sometimes I can see some green and yellows, and then sometimes I see like violets and blues. So it must be like a duochrome glitter they threw in there. These are so unique and so well formulated. They give me vibes of the Scattered Lights from Hourglass, but better. These ones just feel a lot smoother, and I feel like they don't exaggerate the texture of my lids as much. They're very smoothing, and I think the base pigment just really grabs that glitter much better. And you know, the About Face fluid eye paints had to be in this video. These just unleash all of my creativity all the time. They're so fun to work with. You can create really intricate eyeliners, or you can just smudge them all over your lid and it'll always look flawless. fabulous, and they just have the best shades too, and they continue to bring out new colors all the time too. They're just everything and more, especially if you like to get creative with your eye looks. And you can also sheer these out. Sometimes I mix these with a little bit of a glow booster to create a blush. You can just have endless fun with these. Whenever I have a creative block, I just take some of these out, and then that creative block gets broken down. They're so amazing. Highly recommend, especially if you like to get a little creative. Now let's talk top 3 eyeliners. Number 1 being the Nabla Cupid's Arrows, and they have so many different shades available, from really gorgeous natural colors or these really fun shades as well. I just adore how creamy and easy to use these are. You can create beautiful smoky looks. You have almost endless time to work with these, but they eventually set down. They also are very vibrant and opaque, so you're not going to be left with any sheerness or crumbliness at all. They're very comfortable for this type of product. They formulated these just perfectly. I have a favorite liquid liner here. This is the Huda Beauty Life Liner Quick and Easy Precision Liquid Liner. Both shades are amazing, but I prefer the brown one. This is my favorite to shove into my inner corner to create an extended inner corner detail, or as a regular liner as well. It's super long wearing, and it's the best, especially if you have watery eyes. You will love this one because these are weatherproof, tear-proof, even washing your face proof. Often I'll have to take a makeup remover pad to really get it off at the end of the day, but that's perfect and exactly what you need, especially in those areas that can get a little bit more watery. It's the best long wearing eyeliner, and I also love how tiny the brush tip is. It also has the shaky thing, which helps to dispense more of the ink, or the liner rather, and the brush tip is so nice and fine, so you're able to get really nice detailed thin liners, or you can also go thick with it. You can just do everything you want to do with this. And the finish of the liner is also very matte, which I love. I don't like when my liquid liners have that kind of latex shine to it. I want it to be completely matte. And of course, these ones had to be featured, the Melt Cosmetics Slick Waterline Eye Pencils. Although I'm feeling a little bit nervous of the fate of these pencils, I've noticed that they've been quickly disappearing from Sephora's and other retailers that carry these. So I don't know if these are going to be here to stay or what, but I adore this liner formula. It is so slippy and silky. You have such an amazing work time window with these. They're very, very blendable. They're ultra creamy, but they do set down, and they set down. They glue down, and they have that ultra matte finish, just like the ultra matte gel liners do. They're just so easy to work with. The colors are amazing. My favorite shades is Cacao and Ivory. I'm wearing a little bit of Ivory in my waterline and to brighten up my outer corner too. It's my favorite waterline nude pencil. So good. And I hope they're here to stay. They're making me nervous. Moving on to mascaras. I think this is a very predictable section as well. My number 1 favorite for every day is the Lancome Lash Idole. I think this just provides my lashes everything I want. It keeps the curl in my lashes. It's also very quick to apply. The brush shape is awesome. It's this perfect banana curved shape. So it just hugs all of your lashes, and you're able to flip it upside down like this to really pump up the volume through the lashes. The formula follows through your lashes perfectly as well, and it's really long wearing. This never crumbles or flakes on me. It's just perfect. And they have an amazing waterproof version too. That's my favorite waterproof mascara out there. My second favorite for voluminous lashes is the Rare Beauty one. Still one of my top favorites. It's so good, and my favorite thing about this one is how volumizing it is, but it's ultimately very lightweight through my lashes, which helps to keep the curl through my lashes too. And it never weighs down my lashes at all, and this one doesn't crumble or flake too. And this one's really, really quick to apply. I think this is one of the quickest mascaras I've ever had. This one just has all of my boxes checked when it comes to mascaras. And my favorite for ultra volume and ultra definition is the MAC Stack mascara. This one is amazing. And it's also unique because you can add pretty much endless layers, and it's never going to look spidery or super chunky and gross. It just offers more and more volume, and it just creates new lashes as you put this through your lashes. It's incredible. Highly recommend this one as well. And I really enjoy how there's 2 sizes of wands. You can either get the micro one if you like more control, or if you have smaller eyes. I actually prefer the bigger wand because I feel like it gets the job quicker, and I just like how this shape hugs my lashes better. I feel like it contours around my eye contour better. Whoa, And that concludes the eye section. Now let's get into lips. Starting off with lip liners, still my top 3 are these ones. First being the Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0s. I have so many favorite shades out of this one, but my ultimate favorite is Pinky Brown. This is the shade Warm Brown though, the one that I'm going to be swatching. This has such a nice creamy texture, and it's also very opaque. So if you want more of a natural look, I wouldn't go for these ones, but if you want a really defined lip line, these ones are incredible. So you can see here, they're really easy to blend and they're very creamy, but they do set down, and they set down really well. Like, it's not going to go anywhere, and it provides a really good barrier. For other lip products, they don't feather. When I'm wearing these, it's a great formula. And I love how it's a retractable pencil, and it does have a little sharpener on the end in case if you want to get a more precise edge. Love this, so I don't have to carry around a separate sharpener. My second favorite lip liner formula is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. I have so many shades in this, and I also like to use these on my eyes as well. They have so many fun colors, but this is such a nice formula. They feel very powdery, and you can get more of a diffused, natural look with this. So you can see here it has kind of like this more velvety, soft matte texture in comparison. I will never stop talking about these. And my third favorite is the Tower 28 One Liner. These are multi-liners too. You can use them on the eyes, but I feel like there's only one shade that you could pull off on the eyes, and it's the dark brown. I prefer these as lip liners too, but my 2 favorite shades out of their line is Work of Art and Fill Me In. Work of Art is the one I just swatched here, and this one is very similar to MAC Strip Down in a way. It has that kind of yellowy brown undertone, and Fill Me In is a gorgeous pink shade. Feels kind of like a combo between these two, if I'm being honest. It has that creaminess of the Huda pencil and the powdery feel of the Makeup Forever. Let's talk my top 3 lipsticks. The first one is the L'Oreal Paris Glow Paradise lipsticks. I've got a few favorites here, and I might as well swatch them. So this is the shade 120 Blush Fantasy. This one is a little bit more on the pinky side. So cute. My ultimate favorite shade though is 130 Nude Fantasy. It just suits every day. It's like kind of close to my natural lip color. It just enhances it, and it adds this gorgeous sheer glow. And my newest one is Mulberry Bliss 200, which is kind of like a mix of both with a little bit of a cool toned edge to it. There she is. So look at that finish. It is so luxurious, and it feels really nice and thin on the lips. You barely feel it there, but it offers such a nice look to my lips. These have become huge favorites of mine. I have another drugstore one here. My second is the O Face lipsticks from e.l.f. Cosmetics. These are incredible lipsticks. Like, they outbeat a lot of the higher end brands for me. They have such a nice feel. I love how it has this magnetic closure that feels very bougie for the drugstore. I'll swatch my few favorite shades. So the first one is Effortless, which is this gorgeous kind of cool toned berry pink. Really cute. Also a very cute blush. I often use these as my blushes if I go in with them. My second favorite is Dirty Talk, which is a Pillow Talk dupe, and Shameless, which is the one I wore to their launch party. It's kind of like a reddy type berry tone. So stunning. But it has a really nice satin finish, so it makes your lips look hydrated, and it doesn't take away all of the volume. It will kind of make your lips look a little bit more plump than a complete matte texture, but it has such amazing opacity, and it feels very luxe. Like, I would say that these feel very similar to the Bite lipsticks. R.I.P. Bite, but these completely replaced those. Filled that void real quick. They're so nice. And my third favorite lipsticks are still the MAC Powder Kiss Bullet lipsticks. So nice. I love all of the Powder Kisses, but these ones are by far my favorite. I'll show you my top 3 as well. So the first one is Devoted to Chili, which is such a nice kind of burnt orangey pink. And this one is a very vibrant pink. It's the shade Fall in Love. So nice. And my forever favorite is Stay Curious. This is my number 1. And it also suits the Foxglove blush perfectly, just as a side note. These are so nice and softening. This is such a nice, unique matte finish because it doesn't enhance the texture of your lips, it almost diffuses it. It has this really nice kind of slip to them, so it just blurs out your lips so nicely. All 3 of those are so good. Now let's talk tinted lip balms. So these are my number ones right now. The About Face Cherry Pick Lip Color Butters. These are so insanely pigmented. They have such a fun shade range. My favorite shade is Pamplemousse, but I'll swatch some of these other colors. I do have a swatching TikTok reel short of all of these on my skin tone, just in case if you wanted to check that out. But these are so gorgeous and luscious and pigmented, and they feel so nice on your lips. They have this fun cooling sensation, and they have great longevity for its high shine. They're just everything and more, and very similar to my following favorite, the Moisture Glows from Makeup by Mario. These are super similar. They have that same kind of serumy texture, that very glossy look, and great pigmentation. The Makeup by Mario ones just come more in natural and nudie tones in comparison to About Face, but they offer that same cooling sensation. If you love these, you'll love these, and if you love these, you'll love those. And my last favorite is very different from these two. It's still the NARS Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balms. These are incredibly unique for tinted lip balms because we're used to seeing something with a high shine finish or like a natural look, but these are completely matte but still hydrating, and they just look very softening and blurring on your lips as well. So there's two shades. The dark one is Dangerous Affair, and this one, which is my current favorite color, is Unrestricted. Now let's move on to gloss, and then we'll finish up with lip oils. So of course, this is one of my favorite glosses, the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jellies. This is one of my top favorite colors, Spicy. It's so gorgeous in the summertime, especially with kind of burnt red blushes. So good. Here's the shade Spicy, and I love the tinted versions because they have such great pigmentation, but they're very smooth and they're not streaky whatsoever. They're really unique for this type of tinted gloss. And my second favorite gloss is the AF 94 Give 'em Lip High Shine Lip Glosses. These ones are super high shine. They'll give you that glassy look with a classic kind of lip gloss feel. They give a very high shine finish, just like the Tower 28 ones. Tower 28 is definitely more slippy, whereas this feels more like a classic gloss. These both have a similar finish, I would say, just a little bit different textures on the lips. They both give you that glass-like sheen. They both fill in minor lip lines and just amp up the volume of your lips so beautifully. And my third favorite is kind of a uniquer gloss. This is the Shiseido Shimmer Gel Gloss in the shade 02 Toki Nude. It has this stunning fine pearlescence in here. I love using this as a lip topper. Let me just add a little bit right now. I feel like it'll suit my look. It has kind of like this violet sheen to it. It has a little bit of blue, it has a little bit of pink in there, but that fine pearl just exaggerates the look of the glossiness, and I feel like it just looks more glossy than it feels. It feels really nice and lightweight and barely there. So if you don't like the texture of a gloss, this one is the best because it doesn't feel as heavy as other glosses do. So nice. And let's finish with lip oils, and I kind of cheated. I have 4 in this section. I just could not include all of these, okay? First one is the Kosas Wet Lip Oil. I'm going to just mention this one because I've talked about this one for far too long on my channel. I feature it all the time, but yeah, it just had to make a little appearance here. This is what I use most days. It just provides you with the perfect amount of gloss and comfort and shine. It's amazing. The rest here are quite new actually. This one here is the Clarins Lip Oil. I have the shade and scent Strawberry. This is the best smelling lip product I've ever had. It smells so good. It smells so good. It's ridiculous. And this texture is very fun because it's super liquidy, as you can see in the tube here. And it feels just like an oil would on your lips, which you would probably expect from a lip oil, but it doesn't feather and smudge and get all over the place. It stays on your lips so well and has that super luscious, slippy feel and great scent, and it just is such a moment. I just adore this. I need to expand my collection. I don't need to, but I want to. Okay, they're so good. This next one here is on the unique side. It's the Rare Beauty lip oils, but these also stain your lips, so they stay around a long time. The shades are stunning. I also have a swatching reels, TikTok and short of these against my skin tone, so check that out if you want to. But these are so nice. It has that classic lip oil feel, both the staining quality. These are amazing for dates. These are amazing for every day, but whoever you are, and if you really like a lip oil, I think you should try these out because they're very unique and different to the market. Love them. And the final product for today's video is the NYX Professional Makeup Fat Lip Drip Oil. Amazing. This is what I was wearing at the beginning of the video. It's such a nice color. I was using the shade Supermodel with the Tower 28 lip liner in Fill Me In. That's what I was wearing. But these are so nice. They feel so similar to the Dior lip oils, almost exact. It has that same kind of lacquery feel with intense shine and with a very comfortable texture and gorgeous, gorgeous shades that do show up on your lips. My favorite shades are Supermodel and this brown color, Status Update, this one. So if you're familiar with the Dior lip oils, you should try these out. I think you would really enjoy them. And I also find that they have better pigmentation than the Dior ones do. Here's both of those shades swatched. This one is so impressive. They're so good. Highly recommend. And there we have it. There is my updated top 3 in every makeup category. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give this a thumbs up. I will have all of these products linked in the description, so feel free to check that out, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.